crackled. Wait, I'll start. I'm gonna start the podcast with me reading my fact. All right.
Okay.
A honeybee can fly at 15 miles per hour.
That's kind of slow. We can all run faster than that.
All right, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the Mildly
Not all of
Appropriate
us.
Podcast, episode 16.
Woo.
As you can tell,
Yep.
Do you hear this? Do you guys hear this?
do you hear this?
what's
guys?
going on?
I hope we get some fucking feedback.
Listen to
about
Danny
this.
over there.
Can
Listen.
you hear my
Danny,
silky smooth?
What do we think about Blue?
Now you guys. Now
We
you
don't
guys
like
know.
him. Oh, was I supposed to?
Yeah, you're supposed to do that.
Yeah, but then my tits will be showing.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
All right.
Nah,
I mean, I have a
don't
white
worry.
shirt under
Don't,
this,
don't
but-
worry about it. It's
Yeah.
okay.
We're going to have him rip off his blue
I was gonna
jacket.
rip off the thing. Well, you have a blue shirt.
Well,
You don't want to do it, right?
you're kind of right.
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 Guys,
That's a good point.
This is a big jump for us. We finally got rid of
Oh,
Blue.
stop doing the thing. You're looking at the screen again. I got you. Don't worry. I just don't want you.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Mildly Appropriate.
Yeah, right. We'll cut this all out.
I looked over there the whole time, probably.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, well, shit happens, you know. We're not
okay.
we're not the best yet. We got sound down.
See, it's nice because
Sounds
I
down.
can kind of get away with looking at it, and I might
Right.
be kind of looking at the.
Oh, yeah,
You
look
can
at it.
disguise it. Me,
Yeah,
it's like
me.
super obvious. I'm like,
Yeah,
what the?
right.
What
Oh,
am
yeah.
I?
And
You
Sam
know?
just yells at me, so
Yeah.
you know it
Yep.
is what it is.
Like, subscribe, hit that bell, boy.
yeah, guys, and
Yeah,
or girl.
yeah.
the last couple
Oh,
episodes we've had.
Or
Some,
maybe
we've
you
had,
don't identify as anything. Who are we to say?
Where'd this come from?
Nice.
Well, I'm
Thank
trying
you
to be
for your.
inclusive.
Thank you for your input.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Yeah.
So the last two episodes are going to be up on SoundCloud and everything else.
Yeah.
soon.
So
We
okay.
had some
Apparently,
issues with
there's like a special bite size that you need the sound files to be on, or else SoundCloud's like, yeah, we don't like that. So
it. Yeah.
we'll have pretty much, I think three full episodes coming up on all of the
Bada bing.
audio sources.
We actually
pretty
get some
soon.
views on SoundCloud. I'm surprised.
Yeah,
we
same
have like
with,
15, 20 views on SoundCloud, which is weird because like I don't expect that to be anything.
Yeah. Right.
But you know,
Right.
that is what it is. Cool. I don't listen on there, so must
Yeah.
be someone else.
I
don't
tweeted.
listen
I
to
tweeted
garbage.
I tweeted. By the way, we have a Twitter now. Follow us at Mildly Appropriate Twitter.
Hell yeah.
But apparently, if you at SoundCloud like producers, just follow anyone who's talking about SoundCloud. So
Oh, really?
Oh, really?
snag a free follower from there.
SoundCloud,
Yeah, we
SoundCloud,
definitely
SoundCloud,
should do
SoundCloud.
that.
Yeah, yeah.
Is it an algorithm that just like, hey, if we pick up SoundCloud?
Maybe.
I don't think you mean in the video.
No, yeah.
Yeah, what are you
I
talking
sent
about?
a tweet.
Oh,
Oh, cool.
Yeah, Danny, where are you? Are you all right? He's on low sleep. All right, let's not be too.
Yeah,
rough
I've been
on
up
yeah,
all
him.
day, man.
Right. he's a rough-
So you can find us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, SoundCloud, YouTube, Spotify.
You know it.
Are we on Himalaya yet?
Fuck you.
Do we,
Okay.
yeah, did we get, did we get confirmed on that?
Did you say
bullshit?
iHeartRadio?
No, is that confirmed?
Oh, it's confirmed.
Confirmed iHeartRadio.
We're Gucci. We're in there. Yeah.
Damn,
Guys,
man.
I'm so excited about these microphones. Like,
I have a
can't
question.
I am
wait.
too, man.
I just want to
So-
hear myself.
Do you guys want to play? Or sorry, not play. Do you want to hear like the sad news
Yeah, do you want to say that?
first,
I
or
mean,
do you want
you wanna
to
bring it up?
save it for later? Do
have a
good
couple-
news.
Let's get it out of the way.
Because Troy's got some stuff.
Because I want to get over it.
Okay.
I want to get over the
All
bad
right,
news.
let's address the news.
Yeah, all right. So, just earlier this week, we're recording on Friday. On a Tuesday, I lost my fucking job. It was pretty unexpected. Kind of put me in a situation. I mean, I think relatively I'm handling it pretty well. I already have
Oh,
some
yeah.
prospective jobs coming
Right.
up, so
Right.
it does kind of suck. Obviously, it was definitely a shock, which was like the worst part. It was the shock, not really expecting to lose my job.
Right. I think you're honestly handling it better than I would have even imagined. Like I
Yeah.
figured you would have handled it well. But I feel like you're even going above.
Danny,
that.
Danny already has like a good skill, so he can get a job at like any place pretty much. Like he already has a couple of phone interviews and shit,
Yeah.
and it's been like 2 days.
When
Yeah.
he was getting hired for the job he just got fired from. We should like clarify also. You didn't get fired. You got laid off.
I mean, yeah, I guess so.
It's a difference.
So
Big difference.
it is a difference because, like, I guess I mean, I'm getting a severance package.
Right.
I'm still. They're telling me to use them as a reference, and they also told me to file for unemployment. Which,
Right, exactly.
So those
So,
are all
like-
signs that it wasn't my fault, really.
Exactly.
But,
No, that's awesome. I mean,
yeah,
not
that is
awesome,
good.
but it's good that.
yeah,
that you
and
got-
I mean,
they're good
I'm
terms.
not even gonna say the company I worked for, but
Nah, there's no need.
just for the record, like, you know, there's really no hard feelings with the company necessarily.
See, it's weird that
it was shocking, and I didn't like it, obviously, but like, you know, the way that they're giving me severance, they're letting me file for unemployment, they're letting me get the reference was actually the biggest part,
Yeah.
so I could find another job. So it's not like I just have an 8-month gap or whatever.
Right.
So I appreciate that, and I thank them. But
It's a little weird that right after that big story of Danny being heroic,
It was
and
so good.
yeah,
It was such
I
a
know.
good story.
Yeah,
that's so weird that happened after.
That's how you know it's just like straight up politics, which is bullshit.
yeah, I think so too.
But I mean, before Danny had this job, he like has never struggled to get a job. Like the time period between this job and his last job was like not.
That's what I'm saying. I think
Yeah.
the same thing's gonna happen for this though.
I think so too.
He already,
Hopefully.
dude, he already told us he had like a phone interview coming in. So
Yeah, he
Yeah,
did
I have
it.
2 more phone interviews. Yeah.
Yeah, here he is. He's going on the second stages of interviews for that.
Yeah.
other
He's
hauling
company.
ass.
Yeah.
I don't know. See, I want to say because the second one, I'm kind of excited for it. It'd be kind of cool, but I don't know if I can say like it. I'm not going to
What
say.
does it reference?
Is it
Like what?
there's like confidential information about you getting hired?
No, it's just like where I'd be working. It's like, do I want that out there?
Oh,
Oh yeah, but
don't.
what kind of like? Oh, is it for the one you said earlier?
Yeah.
Okay, that'd be
That's
cool.
the one I hope I get. I guess I didn't
You
tell
can
you.
say you can just say
Yeah.
it's like a type of bank. That's
It's
all.
a big company.
No,
They're
oh,
not
no.
gonna know where he's gonna be.
Yeah, I'll tell you after the podcast.
Oh, I know
because
what
it's the
you're
second
saying.
one.
Right, I know
Yeah.
what you're
It's one of the guys I met. Remember?
Oh yes.
Yes.
Huh?
The CEO.
It's a big company. I know what you're talking about. It's a
Oh yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, we're not too upset for Dan. I mean, like I feel bad that he got laid off because it was such like a shitty situation. He just
Yeah.
like I was on really early that morning and Danny
Yeah.
just like got on. He's like, dude, shit news. I'm like, what's up, man? He's like, I just got fired. I'm like,
Oh, fuck,
what?
man, that's
Yeah,
I was
right.
like, bro.
I know it sucked.
Yeah, it was rough, but you handled it well.
Yeah.
Proud of
Yeah.
you.
Again, the worst part about it was just like not really getting ready to know it was happening or coming.
I feel like most people would go into like a not great state after that.
I was not doing well yesterday. Like
I feel
mean,
like I could tell. Yeah.
wasn't like because I was playing a lot of League yesterday.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That makes
And
it depressed.
I was doing terrible. Like I mean, worse than I normally do. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to get out of your head. Like once you lose your job, it's so. And League's not the game to play to like kind of forget
not
about
at all.
shit.
A game that plays like a solo player, like have
Right.
fun.
Yeah,
just,
exactly.
Yeah, kill some
So-
shit. Definitely.
But
Quick question: have
Yeah.
you updated your resume
I
with
did.
with that recent job?
Yeah.
Of course.
I did.
Yeah.
So
I mean, he's pretty like efficient with finding new jobs. It seems like.
Extremely.
yeah, the day of I started looking. So
Awesome, man. Well, I have a little update about what happened in my job. I had some funny stories that I want to get into. So for the first time I ever like at my job did like a full on public speaking in like a group set, like crowd kind of thing. And I thought I'd be way more nervous. I mean, I was nervous going into it, but it was not as bad as I thought. It was
Yeah.
really comfortable actually.
wait, what'd you do? You did like public speaking?
We had this like gala, like event for a new model that we had coming out. So we
What model?
invited the 2 Series Grand Coupe. So it's my car,
Ooh.
but 4-door
Right.
Grand Coupe.
Oh,
whatever.
the GT, right?
No, it's not GT. It's like a. How could I compare to it?
Does it look this? Does it have like that hatchback look? Because I kind of hate that on BMWs.
No, not really. It's it compares to not like the 3 Series.
Yeah.
It's like that, but a smaller version. Like it's like with those European cars. They like make a lot of
Wow.
those little.
It's probably gonna sell really well.
Yeah,
over
yeah.
here.
I mean, there's a lot of standard features on it for the price. We'll get into that in our new playlist that we're gonna be coming out with.
Oh yeah,
It's
try to
gonna be
discuss
called-
some car videos.
Yeah, Sam's gonna join me for some of them, I think.
We'll discuss some auto stuff.
It's gonna be called High Beams on Open Roads because that was almost our name for our podcast.
Yeah.
Sam has a big pet peeve about people who don't put their high beams on when
It's really
uh,
fucked up,
the
man.
roads
You
are
know,
open.
you can't see anything, but you have the option to see everything.
Yeah, I used to do
It's
it all
like-
the time.
it's like,
He's
come on,
really
man. It's
upset.
like, don't
He'd
you
be
wanna
"Turn
see-
your fucking high beams on?
We live in an area
depends.
where there's tons of deer, tons
Yeah.
of animals that love to skirt across the road.
That's
It's
true.
like you might
That's
as
true.
well try
Yeah.
and give yourself the best
Around here.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
So this event,
Sometimes I don't even drive with my headlights on in Philly.
that's really bad.
You're a dude.
Yeah, there's enough
Oh, I
lights.
should tell the story about getting pulled over for that one time. But go on.
Oh, I didn't know that. So we had like 175 people of our customers, previous customers that were invited to the event, and they got like certain discounts for coming to the event, beer, wine, catered and shit. It was actually promoted by BMW, so I think BMW gave some money to like, every dealership to have this event.
Who are the people attending? Just like
It was all customers
really?
and every employee, like everyone had to be there.
Damn.
And it was cool because every single dealership within like near us, at least that I know of, they were all hosting the same event that night. And we actually had the biggest event out of everyone. And we don't have the biggest dealership. We just have like a really loyal customer base.
Right. So they showed up to yours instead of the others.
Yeah. So there's a rep that had to go to all of them at that night. And he wasn't actually working. He just went to check on them. And he's a really cool guy. And he just kind of did the cycle. And he said that we had the most popular event by far. Like everyone
shit.
else did. There was like 30 people that showed up. We had like over 100 people show up. So what we did was every like hour, it was from 5 o'clock to 8 o'clock. I kind of did like an overview of the car to everyone there and just went over the product, compared it to other brands, and me and me and my 2 other close friends, we did it together, and it was pretty cool. We got to kind of engage with the crowd, has questions being asked like live, which was, pressuring, but it was really interesting. Like
Like you and 2 other coworkers, right?
yeah,
Okay.
and one of them went over one thing, I went over the other. I kind of introduced us, and then at the end, our managers, they all have like certain things they say. Like one of them is the I'll wait.
Oh, right.
That's one of my
Right.
managers says that. So at the very end, me and the 2 other guys planned to go up and like reference the managers, but like troll them.
Right.
So like they're all cracking up, but no one else realizes it. So my one manager, my sales manager, Jeremy, we have this overhead area in our service drive. Like you pull into it and it's like glass and it's like a tunnel kind of thing.
Yeah.
So he named it the atrium. He's just like a clown.
Uh-huh.
So he named it the atrium. And So in the speech, we were giving away like these gift cards for our apparel and like parts department.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, if you head through the atrium, like you'll be able to, like, and my owner is there. Everyone is there. And
Yeah,
he's
right.
like, atrium, what the fuck is that? So later on in the speech, we have another manager in every sales meeting every Saturday. He knows now because we've said it so many times, but he'll always piggyback off someone. Like that's his thing. He'll always say, oh, to piggyback off Jeremy. So Matt, who's one of the people with me in the speech, he's ending it and he goes, well, to piggyback off Andrew. And like, it was an amazing speech. They were like cracking up.
Right.
Yeah.
It was a good time. So it was nice to get in front of a bunch of people and not be as nervous as I expected to be in a group
Were
setting.
you on a stage or is this just like on the floor?
So it was in our lower showroom, but everyone was crowded around from like the stairs to the upper showroom looking down at me to like the
cool.
sides at the cheese platters and
Right.
like in cars. And it was like they gathered everyone around
Right.
to like talk to us.
Right,
So,
right. Were you in suit and tie or just like casual workwear?
No, I was in like my button down dress shirt with
Gotcha.
BMW logo on it and then dress pants. And so everyone else was pretty dressed up.
like business
We were supposed to
casual.
dress like that because we're supposed to separate ourselves from everyone else.
Right.
But we talked to so many people that night and like, I can't believe how much I know about that car now. Like I'll probably make a video on it just
Yeah.
because it's so fresh in my mind. But it is crazy shit, like how unbelievable the competitors are and what companies do differently. It's cool.
This is an electric car, right?
No.
Oh.
This is a motor. They are coming out with an electric. I think you said the i4, right?
Yeah,
That's the one you were
i4s,
telling us about?
Yeah, I'll go over
Yeah,
that too.
yeah.
They just announced the specs today for, well, rumored specs, but pretty high mileage.
Yeah, 374, I think Troy said, which is like, that's
For
pretty
Euro.
good.
Yeah.
For
And that's
Euro.
not a hybrid, right? That's full
No,
electric.
full electric, yeah.
That's pretty good.
It's for Euro.
So are electric cars like, so you know how Tesla has all those stations set up across the country? Are they all going to be like a standard plug? So you could go to a Tesla?
I think there's gonna be an adapter you can get that can plug to
Oh,
both.
okay.
Right now, I think they're just exclusive, but eventually they're gonna be forced to kind of let everyone use their charging stations.
that should be how it is. Cause like,
I'm also not going to be surprised when Tesla decides to release their software to everyone else in order to push the quality of electric vehicles across
Yeah.
the country.
End of their
'Cause,
auto
like,
driving stuff.
right, yeah. Because as of like once they perfect the auto driving, then they'll release it to everyone. Because
Yeah.
like as of right now, they have like a silly amount of more data than anyone else.
Well, everyone's pretty
Right.
much perfected it. Everyone has capability right now. The government's just not allowing it.
Right, but I don't think anyone else is doing like no one else has the self driving data that Tesla has.
Maybe not the data, but definitely the technology
Right.
to do it. It's
Oh,
just
for
that-
sure.
Yeah,
but
they
like
have the tech
I'd
to do
argue,
it.
I'd
It's
argue
just
that like the
cameras,
data,
radars, and that kind
the
of shit.
data is like way more important than
Sonar,
the rest
too.
of it.
You know they use sonar. Some of the systems. Ours uses it for.
Yeah.
Our,
Are you sure it's not
parking assist.
lidar?
No,
Because that's
it's
a
not.
big one.
Sonar.
Wow.
It's for parking
pretty cool.
assist. It detects how far it is from another
yeah,
car.
other objects.
right.
Yeah.
I think the big thing with like autonomous driving is I obviously will get more into this in my videos we'll do, but once this will not happen until the government puts more money into the roads. Like it will not until
Yeah.
every road has lines that are significantly like they're not significant, but like obvious where you can see the lines. There's no like weird gashes in lines or areas where there's no orange line somewhere.
Right.
It won't happen. Or even street signs and speed limit signs. Like you need all of that.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to read like potholes on the road,
Yeah,
especially when there's like rain and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Like where you know the road already, but the car
I
obviously
think
wouldn't
rain,
know that.
the car should automatically tell you like you can't use the autonomous driving.
That's probably a good call.
Yeah.
Like
That
it
makes
should only
no
be in
sense.
normal weather.
Yeah, I agree.
Because any kind of like glare or something could fuck up and
Right.
kill you. I'm not about that.
Yeah, icy. If it's too cold, you know what I mean?
yeah.
Like, yeah, you shouldn't.
If
not
medians
yet,
are
at
fucking
least.
up some of the cameras, then clearly snow
Right.
could.
Right.
I find it weird that car companies are planning to go into a driverless vehicle. For example, Volkswagen is like they're coming up with these 4 electric cars in the next coming years. All of them are designed to like not have a driver, so they have the option of having a driver. They can all be like the wheel can all be like declined into the dashboard, and it's just totally
See,
driverless.
Every
Yeah.
company has come out with a concept of that already, though.
Right.
Like, but I don't
Why-
understand
but
why.
why? Why are they banking on
Can
that?
you get
Like,
can you get the
that's such a
fucking car to
soon-
drive itself while you're there first? Like
Right.
like when your hands on the wheel.
I feel like they're kind of just putting it out in the air so that people
rushing.
get the idea. You
They're
know, they
rushing.
want the idea in
Yeah,
the people's head before they move into the
I
air.
also think
all
it's like-
marketing. I think.
It's like also, yeah, I was going to say
Exactly.
that.
It's
all
I
marketing.
think it's like a kind of like an association of a product. Like when people think electric cars, they do think of like auto driving features and shit.
Right.
So it's
For
like,
sure.
Like no, I don't know that an all electric car that drives like a normal car would really sell that well.
They think of gimmicks. That's what they think.
Yeah,
of.
that's like a gimmick.
Dumb
right,
gimmicks. Yeah.
Right. I don't know, man. I would love to live in a future where I don't have to drive my car. I don't even have a steering wheel. You know what I mean? I can just fucking
Yeah,
chill
it would be-
in my car and like.
I feel like the only way that actually plays out to be a real thing is when you think of the Tesla Hyperloop, where you're
That'd
not,
be cool.
you're
Oh,
just,
yeah.
you're just
'Cause then you have
going
an option.
underground straight
Yeah.
ahead. There's no turns. It's just curves and banks.
And you have
See,
an
the
option.
thing about that though, like the Hyperloop is like that's actually super limited. That's why I was asking about like the charging port because
Why do you think it's limited?
because you can't use anything else but Tesla cars for now. For now.
I was going to say that's because they're testing and they just want to use it
I
on
know,
cars.
but yeah, all right, fair enough. Yeah, if it's
Yeah.
testing it.
The whole point is that they're going to have like
You're not going to restrict your
they're gonna
car from
have-
going on
it's
it.
like an elevator
Right.
sled, and then like they
Exactly, it's like a
lowers you and then
sled.
they speed off.
yes.
Didn't they run into problems recently with it? Like, was there not a setback or
I know
something?
I know the head engineer, his parents.
Oh,
I think
wow.
I said that
Oh,
on
his
the podcast.
parents. I don't
Yeah,
think so.
they buy
Nothing?
cars. From,
Okay.
Maybe you
Isn't that
mentioned.
funny?
Oh,
They
you
buy
actually
cars
might have
from
mentioned
us?
that. But I think I honestly haven't like kept up with it recently, so I
Yeah.
don't know what drawbacks you're talking about. But it's possible. I mean, it just has so many
Yeah.
upsides. If you think about like roads, how they're only X, Y, and Z.
Oh, yeah.
on the top. They're just on that huge
Yeah.
plane. It's really, I guess, just X and Y. But when you go down into the ground, you get floors on top
Yeah,
of floors
exactly.
on
Oh,
top of
that's
floors,
crazy.
and you can go so deep. Like you only need to go a mile deep
Right.
before you have hundreds, if not thousands, of tunnels of roads. You know
One
what
collapses, kills everyone.
Also, the other thing is
It
like,
would-
I mean,
but
you could have a completely
It's being
managed
reinforced. I know there's a
system.
whole thing.
Like you can manage traffic because of how it's being built.
I mean? Right. You could just
Like,
straight
you could
shot
send
things.
people down to a different level. Like if it's congested.
Of course.
Yep. You open up
Really,
something
Be
additional.
like trains, but just different
Yeah,
like,
well,
levels instead of.
I was going to mention trains. Like the thing about electric cars, I feel like it doesn't really address like the issue at the end of the day,
Wait,
which is
sorry,
like,
I don't mean to interrupt you.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure your mic doesn't fall off the table.
no, I'm good.
Okay.
It's like it's
Sorry,
it's
it just looks like it's on the
yeah,
end
yeah,
too.
yeah, we're good.
I think I know what Danny's
But
going to.
the like at the end of the day, like so, all right, electric cars specifically for Tesla, the big thing about them, the whole point of it is like to kind of reduce carbon footprints and stuff like that. Now, obviously, when you make one, it produces, but
I would disagree, but go on.
like what do you mean?
I don't
Like,
think
that's not-
Tesla's main goal is to have a non-carbon footprint.
you don't think so?
No.
What do you think their main goal is?
I think their main goal is to push the market into more fuel-efficient vehicles like
Mm-hmm.
battery power and hopefully hydrogen-powered
We have a
fuel
lot of money
cells.
invested in that.
Everyone should because that
Yeah.
it's like the problem we're gonna run into is we're gonna get to battery powered and immediately realize after we've converted everything that we need to go to hydrogen because the batteries have nowhere to go. How the hell do you recycle a battery that's made with like
Throw 'em into
tons
space, dude.
of
Toss 'em.
rare earth
Yeah.
minerals?
Toss them into space.
Like it's so taxing already, and
Yeah.
it's just like okay, you just throw it on the ground. It sits there for I don't know 1 million, 10 million years. These things don't just go
No,
away.
They don't.
You
Metal
can't
at
recharge all of
least
them,
rest
like-
or
But how do you
rust
fuel a hydrogen car?
by pulling in hydrogen from the atmosphere because we produce so much. There's so much of it already there.
They would just grab it from the atmosphere.
Oh,
Have to
yeah.
wait so it has to be more advanced. Obviously, it's not there yet.
Oh no, it's not
Toyota
there
has
yet.
one.
Correct.
They have a hydrogen
They
car.
do. They do
it's
have
like
hydrogen cars.
$50-something thousand or something.
Yep, the Toyota Mirai.
Is it fully?
And it's like, but there's only like 3 like freaking
probably
pumps for this
hybrid,
thing in the world.
Oh, well, not quite, but what did you ask?
Is it hybrid though?
No, fully
Full-on
hydrogen.
That's
Fully
cool.
hydrogen.
I
The
didn't look into
crazy part is that the hydrogen that you fill it up with is crazy expensive.
yeah.
that. Yeah,
Like
which
it's
it
the
shouldn't
equivalent
be.
of like $4.50 a gallon.
Shouldn't it not
No,
be? Though?
correct. It should be
So
super
you think,
cheap.
Do you think there's companies taking advantage of it right now?
Either they're A, taking advantage of it, or B, they're extremely inefficient.
We
which
should talk
I
about
would,
it.
I would say-
combine both
I
ideas.
would
Sam, we
say-
should get more into it. Get some more information for the our playlist.
Yeah, I
should.
agree.
New
The
playlist.
one thing I'll say about it though, before we move on, I guess, is like
Yeah.
they're probably also trying to cover costs like more than anything
Right.
for now because like that's such a new technology. I mean,
It's hard to market.
That's far beyond like even we're not even really at electric cars yet. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So they're probably just like, hey, we got to make money somehow.
Yeah, it's a shame that we're only at like the hybrid stage.
Yeah.
Like hybrids are
Hybrids
like
are great,
common,
though.
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
they are good.
right.
They are good. They're
They are
better
good.
than just straight
Oh
diesel.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
I have one more story from my work experience, like that day at work. So this guy at my work, I'm not going to name names, but he's fucking hilarious, right? So this dad and his son are with him, and they're looking at a car. He pulls out like those Listerine tablets, like the little
Yeah, oh, yeah.
film thing.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So the son puts one on his tongue, and the guy goes, "You're gonna do acid right in front of your dad?" He goes, "Give me one."
Yeah.
This shit was so
Dude's
funny.
wild.
Yeah, he's a wild man, but it was entertaining nonetheless.
Oh yeah, I could tell that story about the high beams, or sorry, the headlights. You said that you like have driven around Philly not having them on.
Oh yeah.
the very first time that I ever drove without them on was a late night. So it was me and Ryan. We were hanging out. We hung out by like this park in his neighborhood, and then afterwards we drove to get a pie of pizza. And we were like, where do we go to eat this pizza? It was like maybe 10 degrees outside. It's really cold. So we're like, where can we eat this pizza? And Ryan was just trying to like think of ideas. I'm like, why don't we just eat it in this parking lot right in the borough?
Right.
So we sat there for like a good hour and a half, and we wanted the car on because it's freezing, right?
Yeah.
So, keep the heat on.
It's a long time.
It was a very long time.
How much pizza did you have?
Oh, we ate the whole pie. Just me and him.
You were definitely high.
No.
That's false.
No. we weren't intoxicated. Anyway, so we ate the pie, and we're just like hanging out. We're leaving, and there's streetlights on. So like I'm just pulling out. I left the as if like what? I can't see it. So we're pulling out, and like there's streetlights on. So like I turned off my high beams just because I don't know. We were sitting there, and I don't know. It felt weird leaving them on for an hour. So
yeah,
like,
right. Right.
So we're pulling out, and I'm like, I don't notice anything wrong. We cross through an intersection, and immediately as I cross through the intersection, there's a cop pulling out from like the 7-Eleven that's right on this corner.
Oof.
And as I cross over, I'm like, all right, whatever. As I'm going past him, he flicks on his lights, and I'm like, oh my God, what did I do? And then I immediately realized, I'm like, oh, I can't see. And then as he's like in the middle of pulling me over, I turn them on. He walks up and be like, you didn't have your high beams or your headlights on. I'm like, yeah, I'm sorry. We were just like sitting in the parking lot over there. He's like, all right. He's like, it's getting kind of late. You guys should head home. I was like, yes, sir. We immediately just like drove home. We were like scared shitless. It was like only a month or sorry. Yeah, it was probably a month or two after I had started driving. Or no. Yeah. It was only a couple months after I got my license. And it was the first time I got pulled over. So I was like, fuck.
Do you remember the church story?
I do remember the church story.
You want to say the church story or
Go
no?
for it, yeah.
All right. So we were like senior year.
Yeah.
Yeah, senior year. Me and Sam were at this church with two other girls. Two, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're two other girls, and we're going to smoke, like some, tobacco, of course.
Of course.
Yeah. 'Cause we were in a legal state.
It was 20. It was the year 20. What? When you?
I was 18 though, so tobacco's legal.
Yeah.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're
I'm just saying, everybody did tobacco back then, right?
Yeah.
Of course. It was
It's
like
easy to
fuel
get.
pods,
Yeah,
but
easy to get.
they got the actual tobacco plants,
Right.
or stuff.
Yeah.
Leaves.
Tell the damn story.
So we're at this church, which is the most fucked up thing to start.
It's the best part.
Yeah. So we're like about to get out of the car, and we have like a glass piece with us, correct? So
for the tobacco.
yeah.
Right.
Well, it's more efficient.
Yeah, it is.
So we get out of the car, and as we get out of the car, like holding it, a cop pulls in, and we're like, "Fuck!" Was it you? Who had
Yes.
it? Yeah. So Sam has it, just puts it behind his back because
Actually, I know I talked to the cop, so I don't think I had
it was
it.
me. No, I know it happened. So I had the thing in my hand, and I put it behind my back first, and like walked back to the car, like acting like I forgot something from the car before he actually like came up to talk to us.
Yeah.
And I put it in like that back of the seat cubby thing.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and then just walked back out, and like we had like blankets, and we were just like hang out and just like lay on the lawn there. So the guy was like, "Oh, like this is like private property or whatever," and he was cool. And nothing happened, but that was a scary moment.
It was
Senior year.
pretty scary. And it's
Yeah.
the worst part is like you're with these two other girls who like are freaking out. They're very panicked.
yeah.
The
They're
second
like-
the second it was even a car, they're panicking. And like everyone else was like freaking out in the moment. And I just like talked to the cop. I'm like, hey man, what's up?
Like Sam, that was savage.
Here's the
And
thing.
he's like, what are you guys doing? We're like, sorry, we just came out to like look at the stars over here. He's like, okay, well, this is private property, so you can't stay. And I was like, all right, no problem.
Not me and Sam's first time.
All
looking
you
at
need to
cars
do is
together.
just be calm. Like
Yeah,
look.
yeah.
Like here's the thing.
Which
That
is-
cop knew what you were doing.
I don't think so.
I don't think so. No, we were like
They just don't care. They just
No,
don't, they just want
because-
you to go away.
Oh, sorry. Think about it this way: is like it's just two dudes going out on a double date with their girlfriends or whatever.
Yeah.
Like that's all he could have seen it as.
Yeah, right. But he can't prove otherwise. But like,
Right? He can't prove shit.
yeah. All I'm saying is this: like, just he knows. He knows. He knows.
He
I
could
didn't
have
think
his
so.
suspicions.
I didn't think so at the time, but now like being older,
Yes,
they
that's what I'm
definitely
saying.
know.
They
Like,
definitely know.
Think of how many people go in like like
Here's
weird
the other
areas
thing.
to smoke.
You know what I
like,
guarantee you? Your parents knew every time you fucking masturbated.
Okay.
Guaranteed.
Stretch? Absolutely not.
You don't think so?
every time.
Not all right. Not every time.
They can't even count that high, Danny. Come on.
Yeah, right.
My mom watches this. Let's not talk about
I'm
it.
just gonna say this: like your mom, like probably was like, okay, yeah, he's doing that.
Of course. They 100%.
But like you thought that you were being super stealthy. Like, oh man, this lady
Couldn't break
I'm
my
never
plan.
getting caught, man. I'm fucking stealthy.
That's awesome.
I mean, I just think back to that situation. It's just, I don't know.
it was a
It's
sticky
just,
situation.
there's so many different things. Think about where we grew up. It's so notorious for just being like, yeah, there's nothing to do here.
Yeah.
So like
I know.
doing anything that's just not legal or not like, trespassing on private property. It's just like, dude, what else are you going to do?
Yeah.
There's nothing else to do.
Yeah, because
guys
at the end of the day, it's like he doesn't care, like really, he just
Right.
wants to not have to arrest you people.
Yeah,
So
Correct.
just- if everybody stays calm, like most likely he'll just let you go.
Do you have any more stories about like run-ins with cops or no? I have one other one.
I don't think so. It'll
Ryan's-
probably come to me. I feel like there
dad's
is a
a cop.
story, but
Yeah.
oh, actually, I do. Yeah, did I ever tell the Ding Dong Ditch story? I think I did.
No.
But the
No.
FBI agent.
No.
What?
You
Yeah,
told us
yeah.
about how you broke into that shed, but that was it.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. That was Bolby, right?
That's a whole different story.
I want to hear that on the
but,
podcast.
I think we already did.
So,
No.
yeah, you're talking about the trailer park,
Yeah.
like the trailer that I broke into. Mm-hmm. There's a whole other thing with my friend Nick and a shed, but
Oh, okay.
that's not for me to tell that. He has to tell that.
Okay, that's fair.
So it was
Can we squash the beef on that too?
Sorry.
The beef
what beef?
from Penn State, the Penn State beef.
Oh, sure. I mean,
We should squash that on the podcast live.
I mean, I
What
don't
do you
feel like-
mean?
There's no really explanation until he comes.
Okay,
We'll have to bring him on.
All right.
I'm not even sure I want him on, but whatever.
Squash the beef. That's what I'm saying.
Either way. So I was me and my friends. We were in our neighborhood. By the way, I used to live in a place called Downingtown.
Right.
Not a great town, like in terms of like
You're New
It's
York,
got
right?
its up and downs.
it's got ups and downs, and it was very like there's like a big racist community there. Very irrelevant. I don't even know why I just said that.
I was like,
I
that
just
all
wanted to
the
give you an
time.
idea. I wanted to give you an idea of like the town that I was in. So
You did that last podcast with that story. You're like,
Yeah.
Oh, so like I couldn't do something the other day. I don't even know why I said that.
So there is a Phillies game going on. It's I think it's a big game, and we are kind of bored. Like we're just in middle school, so we're running around and we're ding dong ditching our neighbors.
Right.
And it's a good time, but we ding dong ditch the wrong guy. So we do it, and it's fine. Everything's good, and then we just hear this car, like a car door slam, and like just peeling out, and this guy is like looking for us, and it's like late. Well, not late. It's like winter late, so it's already dark. And so like we're kind of starting to hide from this guy. We're like, what the fuck is going on? He's got his flashlight looking for us, and he finds us. I guess we were pretty shitty at hiding.
I guess so.
And he's
Jeez.
like, hey, come over here. And he's like, what are you guys doing out here? We're like, just kind of walking around, having a good time. And okay, what do you want to say?
Yeah,
'Cause,
no,
I can't
no.
continue this.
Don't give him this
I can't
chance.
continue the story.
Don't give him this
I
chance.
can't
Keep
do
going.
it. I
Keep
can't do
going.
it. What
You
is
can do
it?
it.
What is it?
I'll say one word after your story, and you'll be like,
All right,
yes, we have to
All
tell
right,
it.
all right.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So the guy is like being a real fucking asshole about it. He's like, yeah, like you guys are ding dong ditching. Where are your parents? Like I'm taking you there right now. We're like, oh fucking Christ. So we get in the guy's car. He drops us off. Now my parents and my friend's parents are all like at one house. They're watching the game. They're having like a little party.
Okay.
So the guy knocks on the door. The guy's parents open. He's like, hey, your kids are ding dong ditching. I caught them, apprehended them, brought them over here.
What
By the
a
way,
pussy.
I'm in middle school. Okay,
Dude,
this guy's
Jesus.
That's like
going
kidnapping.
fucking. Yeah, it's like
You got in
this
his
guy's
car?
like
What the
really that upset about ding
This
dong
guy's
ditching.
such a pussy.
And it's not that late at night. Like this is like probably 6 o'clock, but it's
Oh
already
my
dark.
God.
You know what I mean? Because it's
Yeah.
winter. So, or not really winter, but And so we go into the fucking house and nobody gives a fuck. Like nobody in the party's like cares that we just did that. Like just whatever. The guy's a tool. Oh well. Sorry.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, well,
That was that.
yeah. Hey, look. I
love the
mean,
pause
the
at that
thing is that you ruined the story. You ruined the fucking
All
story.
right, well, yo, it's worth it. You ready?
Yeah.
So
well,
first, I'm gonna tell my last cop story, and then I'll say the
Okay,
word
fine.
that will prompt you to
Yeah.
be like, okay, this is
Yeah.
worth it. So my last one was I was hanging out with this girl like probably last year, and it was like my first time hanging out with her, and like we went to dinner, and she's like, oh, like she wanted me to pick her up.
Does she listen to this?
No,
She doesn't know it exists.
no, I don't care if she does
I
anyway.
know you do.
Oh, okay.
You already know it is, but
I do, but I was just curious.
So
I know what this is.
we went to dinner and she asked me to pick her up from her house. So then I was gonna go drive her off. She's like, oh, let's just like hang out, like find somewhere, like drive around. I'm like, all right, like I know what that means, whatever.
Right.
So
What does that mean? Hold
Like,
hands?
just- no, like
Yeah, how about you give us some detail? Because I know.
no, just make out. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Something casual, nothing crazy.
Okay. Oh, all right.
So not saying that's what it means. It's just that's what happened.
Okay.
Okay, that's what
Okay,
happened.
that's what happened.
Yeah,
Gotcha,
it's not
gotcha.
that doesn't always mean if you want to drive around. Like that could be your friend. Cool, whatever.
Right.
That's what happened.
Yeah.
So we go to like a spot. Cop comes in like 10 minutes. We're like, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, all right, we weren't really doing anything. We were just like chilling in my car.
Right.
And then we go somewhere else like 10 minutes away. Another cop comes like 5 minutes. I'm like, fuck this. I'm fucking driving you home. Fuck this shit. Like I'm out. So that was my only other encounter. But ready? The next word I'm gonna say, quiet. Quiet.
Oh God. Oh God. Did we even talk about New York yet in this podcast?
Quiet.
Oh my God, man.
Definitely wasn't there. Was that
Quiet.
this just happened?
Quiet.
Oh no. Oh jeez.
Oh God. Okay.
Be quiet.
We're on a train. We were just at New York last weekend, and we're coming back on the NJ Transit Northeastern Regional Line.
I have a feeling this
what
guy's
time?
famous, dude. I have a feeling he's famous.
I
feel
know.
like-
I've never experienced this before. So we happen to get into the quiet car. You seem like you have a question.
Yeah. What time did you guys get onto this train?
12 o'clock
Like
in the
at night?
afternoon.
Oh.
No.
1 p.m.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, okay, so we get in the quiet car. We don't really know it, but whatever. I mean, like, it's
For those
a
of you who
quiet
don't know,
car.
there's a quiet car on
Like
the train.
you can still technically talk in the quiet car. You just have to be like kind of.
I now officially know where this is going.
You have to be like kind of cognizant of like how loud you're being.
Right.
You can be on your laptop, like it just be quiet, like be relatively quiet. So
Be quiet. Right.
quiet.
so like we're just sitting there, we're mildly talking, and the conductor, or I guess you call him a conductor, he comes up and he's coming for the tickets. I mean, if you are making anything louder than a pin drop, quiet.
Wait,
Be quiet.
so wait, the first guy, like we see him like back there, like I'm like, all right, put my ticket on the thing. There's a guy on his laptop. I don't even hear his like speakers, and he's like 6 or 7 seats behind us. And the guy goes, this is the quiet train.
Yeah,
You gotta
yeah.
turn off that laptop right now. No speakers. Put in your headphones. I'm
Right.
like, oh my God. So then he comes past us, we're like, fuck, like you gotta
What
be
the
quiet,
hell is this
man.
Nazi?
He,
Yeah.
he goes to the front cart, and the guy we don't look like he's doing anything, and he's like, "Be quiet!"
Yeah, right.
It's the quiet cart.
The guy's like on his phone. He's like, yeah.
He's like yelling, like,
quiet.
He's louder than everyone.
He's
in this whole
louder
place.
than
So he's
everybody.
disrupting the
Wait,
quiet
best
cart.
part. So then he
It's
goes
so
to the
funny.
next cart, like the door passed, and all of a sudden we hear another like, "Quiet!" Fucking yelling.
I'm honestly surprised Troy didn't just straight be like, "You're being louder than us."
I said it
Why
to
are you
Denny. I
screaming?"
said it.
I
I said
know,
it
you
pretty
did.
loudly too,
Yeah.
actually.
You're normally the first one to just be like, "Dude, you're being loud."
I said it out loud.
Later,
Yeah.
he comes back like in the middle of the trip, and this guy's like on his phone. He's still on his phone. The guy stops, stares at him for like a good minute, literally staring at him like he's like, and the conductor's like staring there, just arms folded. He's like, I give up.
Oh my god.
And this guy is not very loud at all.
And he's like mumbling, the fucking
Yeah,
quiet
right.
train.
Yeah.
The quiet
Oh my
cart.
God.
I give up. This is the
Dude,
quiet
so
car.
me and Denny get off the train and we're just like, quiet!
Yeah, ever since then. Quiet.
Quiet!
Oh, that guy was fucking
Dude, we were
crazy.
crying laughing from that shit.
And I've been on that train a lot, and nobody's ever given a shit like that.
Yeah, really.
It was unbelievable.
That seems weird.
It honestly made my day.
It was so funny. Oh my god.
And then we took the wrong route to get to Philly, remember?
Oh, that was awful.
Yeah. There's 2 295s apparently. We took the wrong 295.
There's 295 east and west and south
Right.
and north.
No. There's 95 north and south, which cuts off. So if
No,
you're
no,
295.
Sam, when you're coming from the train station from
Yeah.
Hamilton, it's different. There's like an actual.
so if you're on 295, south doesn't go south until like after you've passed
Yep.
a certain exit. It's
Yeah,
east
right.
and west.
Right.
So it's still north and south, but it doesn't
Yeah,
work
right.
that way. It's really dumb.
And then they changed 95 to 295 by
Correct.
Newtown. So
Well, so 295 actually gets cut off, or I should say starts where 95 turns into like it gets off at Bristol, and you can get onto the turnpike. From
Right,
there,
yeah,
Which is
yeah.
why they renamed the whole thing.
Yeah.
So where'd we go wrong?
I was not aware that was not reflective of like the change. So
Asked
I'm
him
thinking,
5 times, like,
oh
"Yeah, you know
great,
where you're at?" He's like, "Yeah, yeah."
295, like bam, I'm just gonna stick on 295. We'll go up. Actually, the funny thing was like we actually passed the apartment. Like if
Almost, yeah.
like pretty much.
We went, like, right before
pretty
it.
close. So I
Yeah,
was like, oh my
near
God,
Port
I have to go all the way
Richmond.
back down to.
So did you
fucking
guys?
Newtown.
Where did you goof? You were going south when you wanted to go.
Pretty much
north?
almost right away we goofed.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
We went-
Like
no,
as
we
soon
wanted
as
to
I
go
saw
south.
I
We
saw
went north,
295
I
south.
think.
No, you definitely want to go north.
No,
if you were
north.
going
Yeah,
to New York.
I saw 295 north. I'm like, bam,
yeah, you're right.
that's where I'm going. And we were on there for like 30 minutes, and then Troy was like,
I'm
we're
like,
going there.
Danny, I saw the Top Golf. I'm
Yeah.
like, Danny, there's a Top Golf like 45 minutes away from us.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm like, we're in Mount Laurel.
Yeah.
He's like, oh yeah, we're across the water on the other side.
How the
So
fuck did you
annoying.
even get
You're in
over
Jersey.
there?
It goes straight up. In Jersey,
you went. Oh, I got what
295
you
goes
did.
straight up.
Yeah.
It goes 295,
Yep.
and then right when you pass where I get off, which is like Pennington for work.
Yeah.
It literally just starts going south.
Yeah, it
just goes south,
I've done
so
that
that's what we
before.
did.
Yeah, I've done that
that's
before.
what we
It's
did.
so annoying.
Yeah, it was rough.
Yeah.
But dude, our New York trip was a blast. We had
Yeah,
a good time.
Yeah.
Um,
I felt a little awkward in the party, but
yeah, I mean, it was weird at first, but for me,
reasons.
it was
Peter's description of it, like from his perspective, and then getting Danny's perspective, was like the funniest combination of stories I've ever heard.
Why? What was the difference?
So like these guys were like smoking tobacco before the party, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And so him and Peter were both just like chilling real hard. So like just sitting to themselves, like not really wanting to talk to anybody.
Yeah, that's facts.
And so
And I was just like hanging out with people like that.
right. So Peter tells me word for word, he's like, yeah, dude, I just don't know what was going on. People would come up to me and talk to me, and I would just stare at them and not say a word. And then he didn't once mention, he's like, yeah, it wasn't awkward or anything. He was just saying like how weird it was for him. He didn't
Right.
mention awkward once. And then the second I hear Danny describe the story, Danny's like, oh man, it was so awkward. Like, I couldn't talk to anybody. I was kind of just chilling with Peter.
Yeah.
And the second I heard that, I just died laughing.
And I was like literally standing in the middle, like talking to everyone.
yeah, no, you're great.
Yeah.
You-
Well,
you're
'cause
good.
I didn't really
And,
know them, but like I had
And Dylan,
like,
right? Dylan
relevant-
seemed fine. So
Nailed it.
Sorry, we had to cut a few things because
Sometimes our stories go off the rails.
yeah, we just went crazy. We really went crazy.
I'd like to find out, like, seriously, like, where the line is. Because I guess, like, Jamie's the closest thing we have to a lawyer of telling us what we can and can't say.
the
But, like-
line is that we don't.
Yeah, we should
involve
ask
the
her.
business.
We should ask her what
mean,
we
like-
can and cannot say.
I feel like we should also just question ourselves, like, what do you want the possibility
world
of
to know.
everyone else hearing, you know?
Right.
Yeah, that's a good point. It sucks though that you have to like worry about what people could see on the internet.
Right. I mean, like, imagine
Yeah.
if we
Because like,
were...
wouldn't it be nice if we could just like talk about whatever we want,
Yeah.
whenever we want, and like
Imagine we were
have a
already
nice,
a
open
big
podcast.
podcast with
Exactly,
like
then
people who
we
just
can
were
say
like,
whatever we
fuck it.
want.
yeah,
I
if
could
you're a
just
big
fall
podcast,
back
what are
on
they
my
gonna do?
podcast.
Fucking shut down your podcast?
Right.
No.
Yeah, no, they can't ruin
Yeah.
your freedom of
You know, in a weird
speech.
way, it's gonna suck when we get big because like then we have to like turn down the profanity to get sponsors and shit.
Nah,
and-
Okay,
no, because
so-
there's other ways around it.
Revenue.
There's other ways
I
around
forget
it
if we
now.
discussed this on podcast or off. But for sure, it's not worth. I think we discussed it in like our group chat, but I don't think it's worth if we were to hit that point, like drawing back our content in order to like promote more sponsors.
would make us lose content.
There are
or lose
plenty.
viewers.
There are plenty of sponsors who are willing to sponsor people regardless of their profanity level.
Yep.
Believe me, I listen to podcasts with like zero filter, and they're sponsored by like 7 different.
Yeah, it's not the
companies.
sponsors. It's really more like the YouTube revenue.
Yeah, but
It's
who-
like they
I'm telling you,
won't
sponsors
put
make
your
more money anyway.
YouTube.
A lot of
YouTube
ways.
is totally that would be if we wanted our YouTube videos monetized, then we would have to just be super strict about it. I
Yeah.
mean, until we got to the point where
until we got to the point we're too big to
right,
not
and even
have-
then you only get certain ads.
Yeah.
Right.
I would say like a lot, and also for us, we have it on so many different platforms that we can make money on other platforms. It's not like we have to force
Right.
ourselves to change our content.
right
So,
right
guys, we won't change our content for the clout.
right.
Thank you.
Well, let's not commit to anything.
Danny might change for a quick
Look,
buck.
I mean, hey, a pretty penny's a pretty penny. You know
20
what I mean?
bucks is 20 bucks.
20 bucks
you
is
know?
20 bucks.
Yeah, guys, these mics don't pay for themselves. Well,
Right.
yeah, we just kind of hate ourselves.
Yeah.
Well, you gotta do what
That
you gotta do. I
fucking
guess.
box, dude.
Oh my god.
Fucking
It's a
box.
It was
$60
right there.
box.
Why didn't we even check? Like,
we're
what
dumb.
We
was
should
we not
explain.
thinking?
dumb.
I mean, okay,
We're
so
dumb.
we were going to Micro Center. We wanted to return our setup and switch things around a little bit, but we couldn't find this box for our mixer. Turns out it was in a trash can. But while we got there, we found out it's like a 15% reduction of what you get back.
We lost
So-
$60.
Yeah, so it ended
Yeah.
up costing us $60. But we found the box, the $60 box. It's just a piece of cardboard. But now we can take it back and get those $60 back.
Yeah. So, what else happened in New York? We got a lot of food.
Oh man.
Oh, the ramen
Ichiran,
place.
Ichiran. All right.
whatever
Oh
bullshit.
man, if you're ever in the New York area, you got to go to this Ichiran place. It's like a completely different experience. Like, I mean, that was having
first
had all
time.
that tobacco, not the
time.
place to go.
Right.
Absolutely the worst place to go. I was very confused.
What did you order? Both of you.
We just had like all you can really get is the ramen.
Okay.
You can add like rice if you want. You can add like a pork
You
dish.
can change the oiliness. You can change the salt level
saltiness,
you can change.
the
Was it one of
spiciness.
I kind of got it just from a picture. Is it like the individual box?
Yes.
Yes.
So you can,
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
you can
So
like
it's an
set up
experience.
yourself in like an individual box and like,
Me and
these,
Danny
like,
were
folding
lost.
walls.
Dude.
Right.
We're like, what the fuck is
yeah.
this?
You have to like
That's
write
tough.
down your order. I mean, it is just wow. So
Then-
yeah.
Can you move it a little bit left? I want Shaq's face to be in the camera. Oh.
That's your right.
He
Maybe.
does this every
It's
Stop
'cause I'm looking at
look
the
at me.
fucking
Look at
thing,
me and
man.
just think about where you have to move.
Oh my god,
Goodness.
I hate this podcast.
So yeah, do you want to explain like why you guys went to New York?
Go ahead,
No.
Troy.
You might have missed that part.
No, we went for this album launch for Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah.
We mentioned in the last podcast that we were gonna go for like I just said the name, but no lie, not a huge fan of the album.
No,
No,
I
I think I'm just not into his type of music.
was gonna say I wouldn't even bother listening to it to be honest.
Yeah.
He's also just old.
The one song we heard was not good.
No, it wasn't it. It
No,
was
now
not
he has
it.
Parkinson's. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel bad for him,
Parkinson's.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
He's kind of fucking crazy though, so I see how it
he's
happens.
done a lot.
Yeah, he's done a lot of drugs.
Yeah, but I
Crazy
respect him.
dude.
I respect the art.
Oh yeah, sure.
I'm sure there's a lot of people that are big fans of him.
Right.
People are getting tattoos of him, so it's pretty sick.
All right, you guys want to wrap it up or?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
So-
you know what? Hey, look, I think it was a low energy podcast episode, but you know, you'll have those. You know what I
I
mean?
liked
I
it.
don't know. I
It was
disagree.
good.
That
That
was
was
pretty
Also,
good.
it's like, I mean, we got a doozy. We got a doozy coming up, boys.
Oh yeah.
A doozy of an episode. I don't want to give it away the surprise, but
Do you know what he's talking about?
Fucking no clue.
Me neither. All right.
Holy shit.
what? How do you
all
not
right.
know what I'm talking about?
If it was too low energy for you, let us know in the
All
comments.
right.
Don't forget to subscribe.
You don't know
Follow
what
us
I'm talking
on
about?
all of our audio sources: Spotify, Google Play, Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, Stitcher, and iHeartRadio.
Guys, like and comment. Leave
Don't
some
forget.
feedback on
And,
this podcast if you like the audio quality. Danny, take us away.
Quiet!